In this video, I'm going to show you how you can go from zero to a whole lot of money by starting a marketing agency. That way you can buy stupid things like a Burberry bucket hat, alright? And I'm going to show you how to start that marketing agency for completely free. Let's get into it. Alright, so this video is going to be broken down into 3 different parts. Part number 1 is how to set up your agency. Part number 2 is what services you can provide. And part number 3 is how you're going to get clients. So without further ado, let's get into the first part of this video, which is how to set up your agency for completely free. So setting up your marketing agency should really take you less than a day. And the first step is figuring out what you want to name your marketing agency. So if you're creative, you can come up with a name. If you're not creative, you can just go online and search up business name generator and use one of the names they give you. Or you can use your last name or your initials or something. Like, for example, my first ever marketing agency was JRS Marketing, which is literally just my initials. Not creative at all, but it did get the job done. Also, you want to make sure that whatever name you choose is not already taken. That way you don't get sued. So yeah, keep that in mind too. So step number 2 is using the name you selected to make a logo on Canva. So just go on Canva, go to canva.com and find a template and put your name on there. Change the colors around, change it around a little bit if you want to. Just make a logo that looks good. Don't make a logo like this.
Hell no, man.
Or anything like that. Make something that looks good like this.
It's beautiful.
Super simple. That should really take you less than like 15 minutes, to be honest. Step number 3 to setting up your marketing agency is making a website. So if you need to do this for completely free, you can just use Wix, and you can put in your domain and it'll be a .wix.com domain. It'll also have like a banner on your website, advertising Wix. But I mean, you can't really complain because that's a free website, you know what I mean? But if you have a little bit of money to invest, you can use Squarespace to make a website on there. You got to pay for the domain, which is like $12 to $15, and then their monthly fee to keep the website up is $33 a month. Or you could do for the year for $276. So like I said, if you have a little bit of money to throw at it, I would recommend Squarespace. But if you don't, and you need to do all this completely for free, Wix does work. Alright, step number 4 is setting up your email. So if you have a little bit of money to throw at it, I would 110% recommend a professional email address. But if you don't, just use Gmail, set up an account on Gmail, and that works. I mean, I started with a Gmail address, and when I made a little bit of money, I ended up getting a professional address. The thing is that with the professional email addresses, you get better deliverability rates, and people are a little bit more likely to respond. But as long as you're sending the cold emails and you're actually putting in the work, even if you got a Gmail address, people are still going to respond. Gmail address works. If you have a little bit of money to throw at it, then yeah, get a professional email address. But if you need to start on Gmail, absolutely no shame on that. Step number 5 is setting up social media accounts for your marketing agency. These are the accounts that you can use for outreach later on. So yeah, just Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn are the 3 accounts, or 3 social media accounts you're going to need. I mean, you can set up a Twitter, you can set up a YouTube, it doesn't hurt. You can set up a Snapchat if you want to. I mean, it doesn't hurt, but yeah, just Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn. Those are the 3 you're going to need to use, alright? The 6th and final step to setting up your marketing agency is figuring out what niche you're going to work with. So what kind of businesses are you going to try to get as your clients? Are you going to work with blue-collar businesses like masonry people, landscapers, home renovators? Or are you going to work with car detailers? Or are you going to work with chiropractors? Are you going to work with dentists? Whatever you know the most about, that's probably what kind of niche you're going to want to pick. Just because the more you know about that niche, the better you're going to be able to market it, because the better you know like the target audience, the better you know like the little bits and pieces of every business. So the more you know about a niche, the better off you're going to be. So for example, if you've been working construction for 10 years or something, then yeah, starting a marketing agency in construction would be a pretty good idea. You know what I mean? So just whatever niche you know about, that's probably the one you're going to want to start out with. Hey, congratulations, you made it to the second part of the video, which is what kind of services you can provide to these clients. Let's get into it. Alright, so in front of you, I have a list of all the services that I've ever offered with my marketing agency, and I have them broken into 3 different categories. The ones that are beginner friendly, the ones that I think you should avoid, and the ones that require more skills and or money. Alright, so the ones that are beginner friendly are web design and graphic design are probably the easiest in this whole list. So for web design, I recommend using Squarespace. Alright, and if there's a software that you know better, then yeah, you can use that. And I mean, all that is, I mean, You just go on there and make a website. You can use a tutorial if you need to. It's super simple, especially Squarespace. It's super simple. All right, graphic design. I mean, that's just making designs on Canva. Super simple. You don't even need a tutorial for that. You can just you can use a template. Obviously, you want to change the colors around and kind of change it around a little bit so it doesn't just look like a Canva template, because you don't want to have the same logo as a whole bunch of different people, or at least the same exact logo. So you want to change around the colors and, you know, maybe add a thing or two on there, but yeah, still super simple. All right, SEO, so that stands for search engine optimization. So basically what that is including keywords and including backlinks and including alt text on the website that you make for a client, and that basically helps them get on the first page of Google, which people will pay a decent amount of money for that. It is a little bit harder than web design and graphic design, but it's still one of those things. You watch 3 or 4 YouTube tutorials, you kind of get the idea. And landing page design, so what a landing page is basically, think about like when you click on an ad and it takes you to a website. That is a landing page. All right, so basically what you're going to be doing for a landing page is you need to know copywriting, which is basically words that get people to buy, and just some other things. That way you can have decent conversion rates on that landing page and actually be able to have a good design and have everything working good for your client. So that's just it. Again, you can figure it out in a few YouTube tutorials. It's not like 100% like you need to like have a whole bunch of skills to do it. You can figure it out in a few YouTube tutorials. All right, so paid ads, by far the most complicated in the beginner friendly category, but I put it in the beginner category just because you can start out running paid ads. It's not going to be great. It's going to be enough to a little bit of ROI for your client, but it's not going to be like anything crazy. And the more that you do paid ads, the better you get at it. It takes time. All right, it still is beginner friendly in terms of you can watch a few YouTube tutorials and get enough knowledge on it. That way you don't mess it up too bad. The next category, we got the ones that I think you should avoid. So I would avoid social media management. So that's basically where you're managing social media profiles for a client and posting stuff on there and making content. I would avoid that in most cases. There is a case where I do offer it, but I wouldn't in most cases. I'll explain that later. On the third and final category, we got services that require more skills and or money. And in that category, we got AI chatbot, brand reputation management, text message marketing, and email marketing. All right, and for all of these services, you need a software called Go High Level, which is like $300 a month. There's a link to a 30-day free trial in the description of this video, so yeah, check that out if you're interested. But AI chatbot, so basically what that is like a chat widget on somebody's website that you can either have it not have AI in it, so where it won't send AI responses and it will just send a message to the owner or whoever is set up to send messages to, or you can have like an AI that actually answers the questions on there, which either way you do it is fine. Yeah, that you need Go High Level to do that. It's not that complicated to do either. Brand reputation management, so basically what that is, it's a landing page of 5 stars, 1 to 5 stars, and if you click 1 through 3, it pops up with the form basically asking why you had that experience or whatever. And then if you click 4 or 5, it'll take you to the Google page. That way you can leave the positive review on the Google page. All right, so basically what that is gatekeeping all the bad reviews and keeping the reputation of their brand up. So yeah, so that's super useful for people. It is a little bit more complicated. There's a lot of moving pieces to it, but definitely a good service to offer that prints. So same with text message marketing. It definitely prints, but there's a lot to it. All right, I'd say it's one of the most complicated on here, along with email marketing. Text message and email marketing are probably the 2 most complicated on here. But with text message marketing, that's basically just sending text messages out to people automatically. You can send a whole bunch of messages. There's a whole bunch of little things that go into that, like A2P, 10DOC verifications, and toll-free number. There's a whole bunch of little things into it and a whole lot of little things you need to know. But like with a whole bunch of YouTube tutorials, you can figure out anything, right? So yeah, remember that. Email marketing. So basically that's just sending out emails to your client's contact list, like building a newsletter. Basically what that is. You need to know copywriting to be able to do that, and you need to deliver value in the newsletter and really have a good understanding on your niche to be able to have a whole newsletter. And even to do the text message marketing, you need to have a good understanding on the niche. Yeah. Those are the ones that require more skills and or money. You don't think that you have to like just offer like one of these services. You can offer a few of them, and you can also just offer like packages. All right, so for example, my package, like my flagship package offer is like all of these services combined into one package for $2,500 a month. is my main package, and including social media management. So that is a case where I would allow social media management if it was looped in with other things. The reason I would avoid it is just because it's hard to prove an ROI. But if you have it built in with all the other stuff, you can really get a good ROI with this. I would avoid it unless you were offering it with the high level stuff as well. So the next part of the video is going to be how to actually get clients. All right, so get ready for it. Let's get into it. Alright, so to get clients, you're going to need to do cold outreach. So there's different cold outreach methods that you can do. You can do cold emails, you can do cold calls, you can do Instagram DMs, Facebook, LinkedIn DMs, cold text. There's a whole bunch of different methods you can use, but it really depends on your niche for which one's going to work the best. So for my niche, which is like mostly blue collar businesses, Facebook DMs, cold email, and cold call tend to work the best. Alright, but for your niche, it might be completely different. You know, maybe Instagram's DMs work the best in your niche. You know, just you got to kind of research your niche and kind of figure out what methods of outreach work the best for that niche. And in order to find the leads that you actually outreach to, you can just scrape Google. So you can just go on Google, search up whatever niche you're working with, and just scroll through, and you can get a whole bunch of leads that way. You can also just use free trials on Apollo or LeadScrape, which are lead finding softwares. So you can get a little free trial there, so you can try it out for a few weeks. Or D7 Lead Finder, which is completely free. Not the best, just because a lot of people have used it. So that means everybody that's on D7 Lead Finder that pops up as a lead has been outreached to probably a million times. But I mean, it can work, and it is free. So yeah. And for just social media outreach, you just do it all in the app. So like, for example, on if you're doing Facebook DMs, just go on Facebook, search up plumbers, and then you can just scroll through plumbers and do outreach that way. You don't really need a software to find those leads if you're doing it on a social media account. But you will not be successful with cold outreach if you do not follow the rule of 100. The rule of 100 is where you take whatever outreach method you're doing and you do it 100 times a day. So say, for example, if you're doing emails, if you do 100 cold emails every single day, so think about it like this. So like on Monday, you do 100 new emails. On Tuesday, you also do 100 new emails. But on Wednesday, you follow up with the people. So you send 100 emails following up with the people from Monday. And then on Thursday, you follow up with the people from Tuesday. And then you repeat that every other day pattern until you follow up with them at least 3 times. So 4 messages total. Alright, so you need to make sure you're doing the follow-ups too, because the money's in the follow-ups, because most people just don't respond to the first message or even the second. It usually takes 3-4 messages for them to respond. So yeah, make sure you're using the best methods for your niche, make sure that you're following the rule of 100, and make sure you're sending at least 3 follow-ups or 4 messages total. Alright, and that is how you can be successful with cold outreach. Thanks for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed. If there are any videos that you want to see me make, just let me know in the comments, and I'll most likely make that video. Alright, so thank you, have a great day, and yeah, roll the outro.